And perilous times shall come. Men shall be lovers of their own selves, heady, high-minded, proud, boasters. But whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord, the same shall be saved.
People wanted political reform, social justice, and economic opportunity. Nobody was demonstrating for jihad or radical Islam. They disengaged from that. Pivoting to the east was the stated policy. But the radical Islamists, they used, Megan, the Arab Spring as an accelerant to take advantage of the political upheaval and the social chaos so they could advantage themselves and gain influence and control in these areas. And that's why that map looks like that in Northern Africa and Western Africa, in the Middle East, and it spreads all the way to South Asia as well. Radical Islam has increased fourfold in 5 years, ISIS 10 times since 2011 when it only numbered 3,000, and Iran has influence in the capitals or control of Beirut, Lebanon, Damascus, Syria, Baghdad, Iraq, and now Sanaa, Yemen, and of course Gaza and Israel.
You went through in your testimony the number of either missed opportunities or just general reticence to get involved when we could have made a real difference in stifling this growing cancer. You talk about Iran, you talked about obviously Iraq and ISIS, and told a very interesting anecdote because you helped a lot in Iraq. You were the man who designed the surge strategy. I know you're very humble about this, but you did it. That won that conflict. And you talked about how in 2008 you were made privy to communications from the enemy, from Al-Qaeda in Iraq, about where they stood then before President Obama decided to pull all the troops out. And tell us what you told the lawmakers today.
Yeah, that's a fact. I did many assessments for General Petraeus in Iraq during the surge period in 7 and 8 and a little bit in 9 as well. But late 2008, I was showed message intercepts, that we got on Al-Qaeda talking to each other, and Al-Qaeda in Iraq communicating to Al-Qaeda Central in Pakistan, don't son any more brothers. This war is over. We have lost. And they said it multiple times in different phrases over 3 or 4 message intercepts that we had. They had admitted that defeat, that they were done. We pulled the troops out, totally in 2011. A week after the last troops left, General Kaslan told me, he was the commander in charge then.
So, Congressman, I had Jen Psaki of the State Department on the show last night, and I asked her, did we let this bad guy, al-Mari, out of prison, U.S. federal prison, where we chose to treat him like a criminal instead of a terrorist, early, for good behavior in the jail, as part of a swap, because Qatar had some Americans we wanted, and here's what she said.
Well, there was no proposal on the table, and that's not something we would consider. This was not a case where there was a prisoner swap considered, discussed as a part of any of these deals.
No proposal on the table. Does that answer it for you?
No, absolutely not. And this isn't just America frozen. This is a sign, the release of al-Mari, a logistics operator, an Al-Qaeda logistics operator, that when an FBI buddy of ours heard about this, let's put it this way, you can't say what he said on television. This is the guy that provides the bad guys with all the weapons they need, with the support that they need, with the money that they need. He's one of the most dangerous kinds of Al-Qaeda terrorists because he supplies all the other 18-year-old Islamic terrorists with what they need to wage war. This is America in retreat. This isn't just, as you and General Keane just said, America frozen. This is what you do when you're in retreat. When you retreat back within your walls and you try to pacify our enemies, who will never be pacified, when you try to pacify them by giving them back their enemy combatants and saying, please just leave us alone. What we've done, we just put this guy back on the battlefield where all the FBI analysts, all the CIA operatives, all of the military personnel, all the people that have military over in Iraq or Afghanistan right now fighting for this country, we just said, we're going to put this guy back on the battlefield so that he can aid and abet Islamic terrorists and try to kill your son, your brother, your sister.